drop the episode, we'll have thousands and thousands of agents will hear it all over the country. Okay.
That makes me feel better, by the way. That makes me feel better. It makes me feel a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah. And we're just going to have fun.
Cool.
Best advice you've received in real estate?
Best advice has been always answer your phone. I think a lot of people take that for granted, and it's such an easy one, and it's something that we should all be doing at all times. But I make it my priority. If we all have a life, we all have meetings, we all have things to do. But I make it a priority to, at the end of the day, just go through all the missed phone calls, all the missed text messages, and answer each and every one of them, because you never know what you're going to get.
It's a great one. I love now too, with the technology has evolved, at least on my iPhone. I don't know if Android users, I'm sure they have this as well. But now when people are leaving messages, you get to see the transcription in real time, and you could interrupt, and you can literally pick up like you used to be able to do with answering machines.
Yeah.
And so I love that that's the possibility now. So even if you don't answer it right away, you could pick it up mid sentence and be like, oh, I'm here, I'm here.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
you know, it's funny. I asked one of the top realtors here in Chicago, and I mean, does $200 million a year herself, and why she's so successful. And she didn't say I answer the phone, but she said something basically akin to that. She says, I call every one of my clients every week. And I said, and she goes, no, that's it. I said, what do you mean? She says, I call every client I have every week and give them an update on what's going on. And I said, and I was like, there's got to be more to it. She goes, well, there is more to it. But she goes, that is the consistency. So picking up your phone, doing those things, we take it for granted that everybody has those practices, but obviously everybody doesn't. Okay. Worst piece of advice you've received in real estate?
I think the worst piece of advice has been not to go on social media, not to adapt to changes. It's just like, who has time for social media? Who has time for TikTok or Instagram? And I'm like, it's the new way. Change is inevitable. I feel like in my industry in real estate, everything is constantly changing, and it's either get on the boat or get lost. Like, that's just the way it works.
Yeah, I agree. I am not particularly strong on social media. Our podcast isn't particularly strong on social media. And this next year, I think we're going to have to hire somebody to help me with that, because I don't spend much time on social media myself, and I'm missing out on a lot of opportunity to engage with our audience. But Karina Chavez is our guest today. I am so excited. And Karina is a real trooper. She actually fractured a bone on the day that we were going to record initially, and she is here now, and we honor her. She is with Century 21 All-Stars in Albuquerque and is a total superstar. I really
Keller Williams. Just want to tell you, Keller Williams.
I'm so sorry. Keller Williams. My apologies. Keller Williams in Albuquerque.
Yes.
And Karina Chavez, she's a real estate professional based in Albuquerque who specializes in helping investors and also first-time home buyers. She built her brand around authenticity, community, and education, specifically educating clients so that they feel empowered in every step of the journey. Her work blends market knowledge with heart, because buying a home is emotional as much as it is financial. I know this. I am doing this right now. I'm selling a home and buying a home and giving up that wonderful 3% loan that I no longer will have. But that is very emotional too. Karina's work blends market knowledge with heart. I'm sorry. She's known for her energetic Instagram presence, which, by the way, we're going to promote her Instagram in just a moment, where she shares real estate tips, behind the scenes stories, and her life as a mom. She loves connecting with people, finding opportunities others might miss, and creating experiences that make clients feel supported. She is doing something very cool on the development side we're going to talk about in just a moment. Real estate is not just Karina's career, it is her calling. Over the last 5 years, she has dedicated a lot of her time into purchasing 1950s motels and converting them into affordable housing. How cool is that? Follow Karina on Instagram at Karinita Sells Social. I will have a link to that in the show notes, and so you don't have to worry about spelling it. Just go to the show notes, click on it, follow her. She has wonderful social media. Karina, welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was a great introduction. You're amazing.
Well, I will tell you, my team, I my team writes that for me, thank goodness. And I will, I tell you, I even screwed up on one of them, so I apologize there. But you have done so many things, and I am really impressed with your ability to just try different avenues within real estate. And let's start at the beginning. Why real estate? How'd you get in?
You know what? It has to do everything with my dad. Everything I know comes from my dad. My dad has been or was a realtor for, even in Mexico, he was a realtor. So I was born and raised in Guadalajara, Mexico. And in Guadalajara, he was a realtor. And we moved here in 1994. And he's like, I am going to keep doing what I do. And I started helping my father because times were changing. Back in the day, you used to make an offer and send a fax. They're like, "Hey, check your fax machine. Make sure you didn't get any offers." And then it was email, and Dad had a hard time adapting to it. So I started helping him out, and slowly we just merged, and we worked together for 14 years, every day, side by side. It was amazing working with my dad. He passed away last year, so it's personal. Now I really want to honor his memory and make it amazing.
That's a wonderful story. My condolences to
Yeah.
your loss, and obviously you had a special bond with your father. There's something
Yeah.
about daughters and fathers. There's a
I
special
know.
bond there, and the fact that you got to work with him and share your passions is really what a blessing. So and to continue on in his legacy. So I love that. What a heartwarming story. And so tell us a little bit about getting into the business now. You're kind of running things yourself now, but let's start at the start. What did you learn from your dad? Because obviously he was successful. You're a top 1% producer. What were some of the things that you saw him do with his clients that really impacted you?
He treated them like human beings. He treated them like he was in their shoes. Like he always acted in their best interest. And closing day, if they struggled or if they had any issues with appliances, my dad would give them a refrigerator. He's like, you know what? Like, this is what I want for my people. Like, you're not gonna, you did everything. You got to the finish line and let me take over the rest. Like, my dad was just amazing. He treated you like you were family. And
Yeah.
it was really cute because now I have like grandchildren, like they're like, hey, your dad sold a house to my grandparents and now I'm getting those people, and they're like, they said that I can't go with anybody else but you. And they're so sweet because they are like family. And I do know tons of family members. I don't know, like, I know the parents, the grandparents, the cousins, and then you go into these like families and you just absorb the entire family and they become your family. It's really
Yeah.
sweet.
I bet you get a lot of invitations to functions and family events and
Yes.
weddings and all
Yes.
sorts of things.
Yes, and I try to make them. I really do. Whenever, if I have a spot in my calendar, I will make time for them because it's really sweet to catch up. But sometimes I just send a gift because I still want to be a part of their family.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that is a life well lived. When we talk about, legacy and building a career in real estate, that's the dream, right? So that for at least almost everybody I've ever met who's a realtor, they want those relationships with clients. The person that I'm purchasing, I just bought a new place from. I was asking him, he's been in the business 20 years, and he said, I have stood up in three people's weddings that I did not know before I started working with them. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he
Isn't it
goes,
easy?
yeah, he
Yes.
was like, how cool is that? I go, that is very, very cool. There is something so special about helping people with not only potentially their largest financial purchase, but also, yeah, it's such an emotional experience. And it's really, fraught with all sorts of challenges, right? I know I'm going through it right now. Even though my transactions have all gone super smoothly, it's still really stressful. And I'm an agent, and I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it, and I'm going through it as an agent who doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm like, oh my God, now I understand why realtors get paid so much, because like I was stressing out the entire time. I would have to call my friends, go, what do I need to do here? What should I do? And that's the other thing about the realtor community that I'm getting from you is just and from your father is generosity. As you were mentioning, helping people like on their closing day. Um, Tell me more about generosity and sort of how you implement that in your practice.
Well, you know how you spoke about the other realtor that she
Yeah.
touches base with her clients once a week. I spoil my clients 4 times a year. I will for Christmas, and all of them. Like all of a sudden, I have a closing, and I have the secret VIP list, but all of them are in the VIP list. Like I've never not had someone in the VIP list. And for Christmas, I'll send them poinsettias. Like I'll hand deliver. I have drivers that go and take poinsettias over to their door. Or we also do Dia de los Muertos because I am Latina and I don't celebrate Halloween, but I celebrate Dia de los Muertos.
Day of the
So I
Dead.
deliver,
Yes.
yeah, I will deliver a candle to them and say, hey, I hope you have an amazing Dia de los Muertos season. Please remember your past loved ones. Or I'll send them pies for Thanksgiving. So I really try to spoil them. You could have bought a house from me 10 years ago and you're still hearing from me because I still care about you, because you're still my client. You're still my friend.
Yeah, you have that servant heart. I can feel it and hear it coming off of you, and those are who make the best realtors, in my opinion, and people who are really kind of meant to serve. And I do want to talk about working
Mhm.
with Hispanic clients because it is something that we don't really tackle on our show very often. But if we look at the data, they are the fastest growing people that are buying property right now, and
Yeah.
so it's very important, I think, for all agents, no matter what your ethnicity is, to understand the needs of the Latino market and those clients, what they're how they think about purchasing property, maybe their fears, especially right now. There's a lot of fear right now, with the current administration. There's obviously a lot going on there politically, and it's just a difficult time, I think, right now. And so I would love for you to weigh in on, tell us, what if I was an agent looking to work with more Latino clients,
Mhm.
what should I think about and what should I know?
For in the early 2000s, there was a lot of predatory loans that were done
Yeah.
towards the Latino community. So a lot of people lost their houses because they had these crazy interest rates that they were a variable interest rate. They got
Yeah,
into a
they were
lot of trouble,
interest-only loans that would
and
would
they
change via LIBOR or something, and they would be at, like, 2%, and then they jump up to, like, 7%, and it was crazy. Yeah,
But the worst part is that they didn't know. They didn't know what they were
right.
signing up to. They thought
Yeah,
they were going to have that 2% for 30 years and the house was going to
right.
be paid off. So I think part of what I've understood with my community is to just be super transparent with the loan documents, which is I'm not a loan officer, but I get the loan documents. So the loan documents get emailed to me. I print them out and I go over page by page with my clients so that we can see, hey, it's a fixed interest rate. It's never going to change. Nothing is going to happen. Let's just be upfront about taxes. Let's be upfront about insurance. Let's be upfront about everything. And I think the more I communicate with them, the more they trust me. And once I have their trust, I have them forever. And they become mine.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I remember the interest-only loan days, and I remember,
Mhm.
they were, disproportionately, Hispanic people were
Yeah.
disproportionately affected by it because it seemed like a really good idea, and let's be honest, nobody really understands how mortgages work. I mean,
No, they
certainly
don't.
the lay people don't, and I barely do, and I have, I've had mortgages for 20 years, and I barely understand it, and especially back then when it was interest only, it was so weird, and it could like jump a certain number of basis points every year, but it would get very. It was just a very strange time, and a lot of those people did sort of get unfortunately not well educated on it, and
Yeah.
that's a huge problem. And I think too the the idea of education, right? So you probably deal with a lot of first time home buyers. So what do you think the most important thing to tell somebody who's renting, who maybe doesn't even know that they could purchase? How do you start to educate them on, hey, now it's time to take the step to become a homeowner?
Yeah, it's funny that you asked me that question. Yesterday, I had a client and I sold her a house 2019. 2019, I sell her a house. She was very uncomfortable with the idea of buying a house. She was only doing it because her family told her, buy a house. She didn't qualify for much. She qualified for $160,000. We found her a beautiful 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, older house, 1952 house, but it had good bones. She complained when the taxes went up. She complained when insurance went up. I for the 5 years I've seen her at least twice a year because we shop for insurance or we submitted tax proration so that they could lower her taxes. Like so, I've helped her for 5 years, but she has complained for 5 years about buying this house, right?
Yeah.
I said to her, it's your home. You're building equity. This has been a good move for you. Like you could have been renting, and granted, your taxes wouldn't have gone up, or you didn't have to take care of any repairs, but you have an asset for your children. Yesterday, she called me out of the blue and she said, Karina, can you fit me in? And I'm like, of course, coming in. And I was expecting something like taxes went up, right? And I'm like, how are we going to fix it? But she said, I had a stroke last month.
Oh no.
I have $40,000 in debt and
Oh
I don't know what to do. And I said, you know what? This is what your house is for. This is what all the sacrifices have been for.
yeah.
Her house is now worth 250,000. We're
Oh
gonna
wow.
refinance it. We're gonna cash her out. She's gonna keep her home. She's gonna keep a
Wow.
really good payment on it, and she's gonna eliminate all of her debt. And I'm like, this couldn't have happened if you were renting. This is your lifeline. This is what keeps
Wow.
you going. And I mean, obviously, we started the refi process right away, and now she's going to be okay.
That is an incredible story, and how fortunate for her that you are in her life and you were able to, to get her to this place where she had this life emergency. And we all know life emergencies happen to all of us. And
Yeah.
she's able to take advantage
She
of
wanted to
the
sell it. So she came to me because she wanted to sell it. And I said, if we sell it, where am I going to move you to? That's not the answer. I'm like,
right.
let's look at the whole picture. I'm like, I'm not going to make a commission out of you because you want to sell. Is this the right move for you? Yes or no?
Yeah,
No, because then you're going to be homeless.
right. Yeah, you just basically gave her an option she didn't know was possible,
Right.
and she stay in the same house. I can't imagine that is going to be a client for life, obviously,
Yeah.
and she's going to tell a lot of other people. You're not going to believe what my real. And by the way, you're not going to believe what my realtor did for me for free. This is not. You are not getting paid on this. So in addition to being just a good human being, or in addition to being a great realtor, I meant to say you are also being a wonderful human being to this person.
Thank you.
And this is that servant mentality, I think, is and boy, I would imagine you will get many referrals if you haven't already from this one person. But what a great story. So let's talk about motels, because I think this is such a cool thing that you were doing. Tell us about the problem that you're solving with motels.
Okay, so in Albuquerque, we have Route 66. We have 22 miles that are all Route 66. So it's the longest stretch of Route 66. So we have a lot of motels along Route 66.
Yeah.
These motels, unfortunately, are not popular anymore. Now we have Hiltons and Residence Inn and Marriott's, and you're not going to go and stay at a Route 60, the
People
1950s
don't
motel
like to
that
stay at motels. Yeah. Yeah.
no, they don't want to stay, and it smells like smoke, and the bed is dirty, and you're just not going to do it. So there's a lot of dilapidated motels on Route 66, and they are they're a problem. They're a problem. They're a problem for there's drugs, there's prostitution, there's just bad things, and unfortunately, a lot of them are in my area. My side of town is 87121. That's where I sell the most. That's where I consider my bread and butter. And these motels are just not good for my community. I wouldn't feel safe um, because of all the crime that they bring. So a colleague of mine said, Karina, there's a motel for sale. Make it into affordable housing. And I was like, oh, I don't know. That sounds a little bit hard. And he's like, Karina, you're young. Like, this could be your 401k. I said, I don't
Yeah.
know. I've never even considered financing a motel. Like, oh my gosh, how much does it cost? Like, down payment. He's like, Karina, don't worry. They're going to do a real estate contract, put 10% down, and then you can live off of the rent. It sounded really easy. It sounded amazing. I went to see them and it was like, wow, phenomenal. It looks great. They have kitchenettes. They're fine. Um, Once I got into them, I realized, I needed to update the plumbing, the electricity, the HVAC units. I mean, it was a lot more work that I was anticipating, but it's so rewarding. I have a ton of like veterans. I have a lot like Catholic Charities is in there. A lot of different organizations that just have single people that don't have anywhere to go, and they come to me. And then I had a wait list on the first one, so I said, "Hey, this is a thing. Like people need affordable housing. We provide electricity, water, internet. We include all the utilities in the rent, and we provide a safe environment." And that's what we do. So we bought one, and then a second one, and then a third one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have like the local news picked up on this and done stories? I imagine they would have.
They haven't. There's a magazine from Colorado that came and did a whole article on it,
Yeah.
but no, I think I don't know. I don't brag about it a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm just happy that I'm providing for my community.
What a great story to tell as well. And do you anticipate doing more of these?
So funny story. I have another one. I have a fourth one, and that fourth one is in between. Like it's in my same zip code, but it's in the area. And I said I can't do affordable housing. I'm going to saturate the area. All three of them are rented out. Let's do something fun for the community. So I am turning that one into a shopping center. So it's going to be 7 restaurants, 2 bars, nail
Wow.
salon, barber shop, a paleta bar, so obviously Mexican ice
Yeah.
cream. So I want somewhere safe for the community to be able to go. You can get your nails done. The husband can be watching the game, and the kids can be getting an ice cream. Everyone can be there together. I want a safe place for my community to be.
Wow. I think those called third spaces, I believe they're called, or something like that. Second spaces, or where communities can kind of come
Yeah,
together and enjoy. And I love that.
yeah.
What a wonderful idea. So you are, you're a realtor, but you're really a developer at heart.
It's been really hard. It's been really hard to be a developer. There's been a lot of lessons and lessons you don't expect. Like, I thought the food hall would be super fast and easy. No, I had to put in a fire hydrant. And I was like, what? Why do I need to put in a fire hydrant? And they're like, well, you're going to have a lot of people there. And you're like, I didn't think about a fire hydrant. It's like, what are you talking about? So it's just been one lesson after another. I'm very grateful for them. And I think what makes me happier is knowing that I will be able to provide a place for my community to hang out as a family. I don't think we have enough of those places. I think,
Correct.
you have restaurants, but then, there's life. You have to get your nails done. You have to get your hair done. You have to get everything, and you want to be able to go out as a family.
Yeah, in the 70s, there used to be things called community, and even in the 80s, there used to be community centers where people would, especially young people, would go and
Hmm.
congregate, and they don't really exist anymore. And it's really important for people to have spaces to hang out. And malls are kind of took over that thing, but then malls kind of went away, and malls aren't
Yeah.
as popular as they used to be because people are shopping online, and so we still have this need to get together. And I
Yeah.
love that you are developing those things in a real positive way for your community. And I've always said, you know, well, it's not I've always said, I've learned from doing 700 episodes that real estate is so hyper local.
Yeah.
If you can be of value to your local market, you will be rewarded with lots of business because you are giving to the exact industry, the exact community that you are serving. And
Right.
you're not just helping them find homes, you're actually actively helping make the area more attractive, more safe, and certainly more affordable. So I really honor you for doing this. It must be a lot of fun, despite how challenging I'm sure it is.
It is super fun. I have to tell you, I am impulsive, and I see something and I'm like, let's just do it. And I'll figure out how. Like, if I see a good deal, I'm like, I want it. And God always just puts it together. Like, I'm like, how am I going to get finance for? If you would have asked me 5 years ago, how do you get 4 motels under contract? I wouldn't have been able to tell you. But the opportunity came, and then I figured it out. I'm like, you know what? Let's do this loan, or let's There was just ways. It just happened. But without my husband supporting me in every way, like there's no way I would be here, because I think of the ideas and I jump, but he executes them. He's the one that, he does the remodel. I mean, he doesn't physically do the remodel, but he's project manager. And he's going every day to Home Depot, and he's going every day to check up on the workers, and he's making sure that the work was done right, and he's pulling permits. And me, I think about it, but I don't do it.
Well, and now you are an investor. Now you are somebody who is investing into your community, and I think that, and it's where you live, it's where you work. I think that is just such a powerful message for agents to really think about, how do I become more visible in my community? Well, you do things like this,
Yeah.
and these are big swings. You're taking a big swing, and you've done it. And obviously, not everyone can take those big swings, but you can take small swings as well.
Yeah.
You could become valuable and be of service to an organization within your community. You can volunteer. You can give back in lots of different ways. But I've always thought that would be really the most rewarding part of being an agent, is to sort of, how do I beautify my community?
My
How do I make
community.
it
Yeah.
a more enjoyable place to live? Um, let's just go back into sort of client care. So you said 4 times a year you're delivering, spoiling your clients, giving them items of value, gifts, etc. Um, how do what percentage of your business right now is referral? I'm curious.
100%. I don't do any Zillow leads. I don't do anything. It's all referrals.
And how many homes do you think you'll sell in the next 12 months? What do you think?
Year to date, I'm at 89.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you that is unbelievable. And that does not happen overnight, obviously. So what do you think? And you've seen agents come and go. You've seen agents succeed, some not succeed, and you've obviously got great lessons from your father. What do you think is, in treating them like family? Of course, you had mentioned earlier, but what do you think are some of the other things you're doing that really, really add value, so that you get 89 people calling you, or maybe you're calling them
Yeah.
saying, I
No,
want to work with you? Yeah,
my
this year.
phone rings. And this is why I'm telling you, if you do a good job, if you do an honest work, people will come to you. People will refer you. I don't. It's funny. All the trainings are like, oh, if you want these many appointments, you have to make these many phone calls. I
Yeah.
have never had to do that. The
You don't make
phone
phone calls.
rings. No, 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 no. The phone calls come to me, and it's like, hey, you were referred by my cousin. Hey, and I'm like, oh, how's your cousin doing? And then I'll send that cousin a $25 gift card. Hope everything's doing great. I miss you. Let's have coffee soon. I
Yeah.
just have to keep up with my database.
I love that. I love that. So that is really amazing. And that imagine, I imagine a lot of our listeners are thinking, oh my gosh, 90 homes in a year, without basically answering the phone. And again, it's not magic. She didn't This didn't happen to her. She built this community, of a self-sustaining community, through incredible hard work. um,
Yeah.
that's what people don't see, right? And you probably do a lot of things for free as well, along the way, and then that obviously rewards you when the time is needed for a realtor. But it is just give, 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 and
Yes.
one day you receive as well. I love that. If you were a new agent starting out, what would you tell them to do to get started? So if somebody's listening here who doesn't have this big community, but wants what you have, what would you suggest for them to start doing?
Number one, I would reach out to everybody in your database, because you do have a database. You would first create a database, right? Like your mom and dad, practice on mom and dad, but create a database, your friends, your colleagues, anyone that you know, put them in a database, send them a calendar, pick up the phone and tell them, hey, I am a realtor. I am doing this now. Do you have anyone that's interested in purchasing a house? Is there, or even just get a neighborhood and send in CMAs, just get your name out there, just door knocking, anything, just to start getting out there and getting practice, because you are going to mess up, you are going to have bad scripts, but the more you do it, the more natural it is.
It's crazy. So the place I just sold, it was a new development. It 5 years ago. It
Mhm.
was built, and We've had people
Mhm.
sell within that 5 years. It's not a lot of people, but do you know how many random CMAs I got from agents? And there are 45,000 realtors in the Chicagoland area. I got maybe actually I do think I got one. I was going to say zero, but I think I actually did get one from an agent a couple of years ago and I was like, "Oh my god, literally one." And I was like, anybody, and again, maybe they know I'm a realtor, so they didn't send it to me. But I asked my neighbors; they didn't get them either, unless it was from their own agent. But I mean, like, what an opportunity, right? To reach out to somebody in in an area and say, hey, I want to give you a new updated evaluation on your property. Like, it's easy to do. It costs almost nothing other than time and maybe the price of a stamp. And it's valuable. It's important to
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
everybody's checking their Zestimate anyway. So you might as well throw your hat in the ring and say, hey, I think the Zestimate might be a little off. I've got a better, predictor. And I want to give you through my experience. So I think that is such a great idea. It's like, it's so obvious. And I mean, nobody does it. It's crazy to me. Uh, People used to do it. I remember years ago, when I was 10 years ago, I would get things in the mail occasionally. I don't get anything in the mail anymore. It's amazing. So I think the 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 sort of the field is wide open for agents to take advantage of this. And
Mhm.
like you said, give them something of value.
Yeah. My kiddos hate going to Walmart with me because if I go to Walmart and I'm like, hey, I'm just running in, I'm getting milk, that's it, like in out, and they're like, Mom, you're gonna run into like 20 people, you're gonna talk to everyone, and it's gonna go from 10 minutes to 45-minute trip. So now my kids are like, no, 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 just give us the card, we'll go buy it. You stay in the car. like, I'm like, okay, guys, okay, fine, I'll stay in the car.
Yeah. It You have made yourself invaluable to that community. And yeah, going out in public, you probably just see lots of your work, your past
Yeah.
work, as you're going through, and you see these wonderful clients and just basically spreading joy throughout.
And then I follow them on Instagram, right? So then I know, like, I'm like, oh, they just had a baby, and I'll be like, girls, let's send them a gift card to Amazon, or let's send a baby basket, or I will, like, if you post something that I need to know about, I will send you a gift card. I'll be like, hey, congratulations, hey, let's do this. Like, yeah, totally. I will always spoil you.
What I notice most about you, and again, this is a mindset thing, I think, but I think it's really important. You have a lot of fun with your job.
Oh, I love my job. I love it. My husband is going to Dallas today, and he's like, Karina, please just come with me. And I was like, I am so looking forward to you not being here and me just working for 4 days without having to worry about dinner or anything. I'm like, I just want to work. I just want to be with my people. I just want to be having fun because, yes, it is. I have so much fun in my job.
And it's infectious. I mean, I'm like in a better mood just speaking with you. And I
Good.
always think if you can have this much fun at work, and I interview people, and not that it's not hard. Of course it's hard. Like, everything in life is hard. So that the hard part's built in. But if you can have fun while it's hard, it makes it just really enjoyable. And I really get that from you. And I think, boy, it must be fun to work next to you, because uh,
It's stressful, but it is fun. Like, if you open my calendar tomorrow, I know because my husband's gone, and when my mom lives next door to me, so it's really easy. The kids know that they have a home cooked meal at my mom's house, and I work. We have this routine that when my husband's out of town, I can work until 8 or 9 p.m. And I know tomorrow my day starts at 8 a.m. and it ends at 9 p.m. Most people would be like, "Oh man, that's a really long day." To me, I am seeing some of my favorite clients tomorrow. I am so thrilled. I'm like, yes, I go from one appointment to another, and they're all amazing people. So it's,
well,
it's exciting.
it, you're hanging out with your friends is essentially
Yes,
what you're doing.
yes, that's
I mean, how
exactly it.
fortunate is you get to spend time, if you build your business correctly, you get to spend time with your friends all every day. Like, that's
Yes,
pretty cool if you think about
yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah. And there are a lot of professions that have this. Financial advisors have it, maybe accountants, but there's something special about the realtor and the home purchase. There's something super emotional that maybe the financial advisor doesn't quite get, or the insurance agent, or the accountant. But that is something that I think if we really lean into that, and you have leaned into that heavy, that
Yes.
it really pays back and rewards you. And you don't worry about marketing. You don't market. You just go, I'm just going to be there for all of these people. I care about them. I know what's going on in their lives. I pay attention on social media to what they're doing. I send them things to let them know that I am paying attention. I see you. I hear you. I know you're doing this thing. By the way, how good does it feel when somebody contacts us and goes, I saw you just did that cool thing, or you went on that vacation? And we all want to be seen and heard. And I know that sounds kind of like so obvious. It's not that obvious to people. If you can make people feel seen and heard and appreciated and cared for, which is, I would say that's your brand, is people feel cared for
Yes.
when they work with Karina. And I just think, boy, you're going to have clients for life.
God willing, because they're my friends. They are amazing, and I'm so grateful for them.
Wonderful. Well, Karina, I am so grateful for you. So you came on our show. You braved a broken bone to get here. You are still smiling and laughing and having a great time. And I know life is not super easy with all the transactions you do, being a mom, running a business, and being on this show. So we honor you. And not only did Karina break a bone, then I had to reschedule this thing. So she has been super just generous to me and my time and for our audience. So you're infectious. You're so much fun. And I hope our audience gets the idea of your attitude. I think the attitude of what you do is really, really something that our listeners can take away, is have fun with this job, treat people with kindness and care and respect. Remember how hard it is for them to, I'm going through it right now. And boy, there's always like all these extra expenses that you didn't think about. And I'm in the business and I'm like, oh my God, there's all these extra expenses that I didn't even know about. And I'm like, oh, it's so stressful. So remember that as people are going through, especially first time home buyers, and think about, how to meet those needs and how to make sure that they know what's coming up, and care for them like Karina and her father have done. And you will build an amazing career, and you will eventually have 90 homes a year from people just calling you. And again, I love that your marketing spend is zero. I think that says everything right there. My marketing spend is zero. And well, it's not really zero because you're of course giving away gifts and stuff, but you are not actively going out looking for business, so it is zero, I guess. Your client appreciation obviously has a budget to it, but your marketing spend, yeah, is zero, and that is, I can't even I can't even think of another a, a way to say how incredible of a business that must be. So well done. And we are so happy for you. And again, all of our listeners, this is what you want to in your business. If you want this kind of relationship with your clients, this can happen. This is possible. And then you can go out and be a developer and convert motels into livable spaces for affordable housing. You can do really cool, fun things if you take care of your people and your community. So, Karina, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I want everybody to follow Karina on Instagram. Karinita Sells SoCal is,
No, it's Chavez Team Realtors.
oh, I'm sorry. Did I have the wrong one?
I think you do, my friend. It's Chavez Team Realtors.
We will fix that in post production. Travis Team Realtors. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
Chavez.
apologies. I somehow got it wrong. Yeah, you're not in SoCal. Why did I say that? You're in Albuquerque. Sorry about that, everyone. God, I don't know how I did that. My sincere apologies. Well, we are super excited that you were here on the show, and we will get your correct Instagram link out to all of our audience. And thank you so much, and thank you to our listeners on behalf of Karina and myself, and on behalf of our listeners. Thank you, Karina, for your time today, and we will see everybody on the next episode. Thanks, Karina.
Thank you so much, guys.